Hey guys, we're back for another kiln unloading. It's been a minute since I've done one. I had all these plans for all this work I was going to get done over the summer, and that didn't happen. So this is not a very fully packed kiln. My whole family was sick for the past couple weeks, so all my plans went out the window. But I have an event tomorrow that all the pieces that turn out from this kiln are going to be coming with me, so I had to fire it. That event, if you're local, if you're in southern New Hampshire, there's going to be an event called Uncommon Art on the Common in Goffstown, New Hampshire from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock tomorrow, which is Saturday the 6th of August. So if you're around, stop on by, come say hi. All right, so we're going to jump right into this. This was a cone 6 firing, and as I typically do, most of these glazes are Amaco and Mayco glazes. So we'll just jump right in. So this piece right here was done with a rolling pin from ClayShare, and it's their pin flower rolling pin. And then it's a soap dish cutter from DeLa Designs, and I did it with a GR Pottery Form. So give a couple nods out to all the people that contributed to making this piece. The glaze on this is Amaco's Rainforest, and underneath that I applied ultra black underglaze and then wiped it back. So it helps just to make the design pop a little bit, even though you really can't see the black underneath it at all. So yeah, that one came out nice. Then I have the same rolling pin was used to make this little trinket dish. So the colors that you see underneath here, those are all Mayco Stroke and Coats, Ruby Slippers, Sun-Kissed, Jaded, Caribbean Blue, and Blueberry Hill. So those were watered down, so they went on a little more like watercolors, and then I wiped them back just to leave that color in the recess, and then it's just 2 coats of Amaco's zinc-free clear over the top. So yeah, that one came out cute, so it's just clear on the back. Then I have one more with that rolling pin. This one's just a cute little, just a little dish with some mulberry, which that mulberry came out really nice. I went on, it's only 3 coats of it, but I was very careful to go in different directions with it to make sure that it didn't get that streaky look. I've had a lot of questions recently about how I glaze pieces. My rule of thumb, there are some exceptions, but if I'm using Amaco glazes, I do 3 coats of each color. If I'm using Mayco glazes, I do 2 coats of each color. Like I said, there are some exceptions. Cinnabar by Mayco, I have to put on really heavy, otherwise it looks wicked streaky. And if I'm using light flux, it's only ever 1 coat because that stuff runs like crazy. If I'm using clear from Amaco, it's only 2 coats because otherwise it can get a little milky. But unless I say otherwise, it's always 3 coats of Amaco and 2 coats of Mayco. This is another one of the pin patterns from ClayShare. This one is their succulent pattern, which you can see there. So this was Speedball's pine underglaze that I applied on this part and wiped back, and then it's just clear over the top. And then the back is just the underglaze with clear over the top. I really like that. That pine underglaze comes out really, really pretty. It also, if you ever get these sandbow underglaze transfers, the green transfers that they have, this pine from Speedball matches it perfectly, just as a aside. I have one more with that same rolling pin pattern. So there's that succulent again. This is ultra black underglaze that's been applied and wiped back, and then it's wasabi over the top. And I'm honestly kind of surprised. Like, it made the pattern pop, but you really can't see any of that black popping through. Like, the green just made it look like a darker green underneath, which is perfect. I just wanted to highlight the pattern. I wasn't sure the wasabi would draw out the details enough, so that's why I did the underglaze underneath it. But yeah, that came out really cute. I like that. And then this, the design around the rim, that's the rim template also from ClayShare. It's one of their downloadable rim templates. Everything on top is all hand-built stuff, so bear with me. And then this is yet another ClayShare rolling pin pattern. This is their B one. So this is, again, I was afraid that the marigold wasn't going to, this is Amaco's marigold. I was afraid it wasn't going to show the texture, so I applied teddy bear brown underglaze underneath it and then wiped it back. And I love how that turned out. It made the pattern really pop. So you can see the bees and flowers and the honeycomb. And I feel like the brown underneath this marigold gives it a really, really good honey color. So that worked out nicely. I have one more with that same glaze combination. This one just has a fancier rim. All of these little dishes were made with GR Pottery Forms. And then like the rolling pins, like I said, are from ClayShare. And this was another rim template from ClayShare. So that one came out really cute. I like it. And the back is just marigold. Should do it that way. You'll have to excuse my voice. I'm still recovering from being sick and I sound like I've been coughing a lot because I have been. So I had a really good firing. That was actually a solid cone 6. I finally got the kiln dialed in the way I need it to be. So the last thing on this shelf is at the event tomorrow, they have certain booths. If you participate, you make booth bling, so people can come around and collect a little free thing from you that they add to like a necklace that they pick up at the beginning, and it's supposed to, you know, highlight what you do. So I've made a whole bunch of these little New Hampshire ornaments that'll be strung up so that they can, and you know, they'll be in a little bag with my business card, so when people come by they can take one. So I have a couple different designs. These ones are, they just have some cute little stamps on there. Flowers, New Hampshire, an owl, the pine cone, and then these ones are covered in mulberry. I had, from the last kiln, I had ones that were done in clear, so they just look white. Marigold, wasabi, and sky. And in this one I had, like I said, the mulberry, and then I have 4 of them. One of them's down further, but that have the Rainforest on it. So these were just done with stamps from DeLa Designs, and then I inlaid the ultra black underglaze and wiped it back. I inlaid this with an applicator tip so that I didn't have to wipe it back, but you know, cleaned it up a little bit. So those went in. These stamps are really nice. They leave a good well so that you can fill the well with the underglaze so it doesn't make a mess. So yeah, so these ones, like I said, Rainforest, mulberry, and then I have a couple other ones further down that were done with the rolling pin designs. We're gonna break for 1 second so I can take out my shelves. One other thing I wanted to mention about when I'm glazing, people always have their favorite brushes that they use to apply their glaze, but it makes a big difference. So 2 coats for me may be very different from 2 coats for you. I like to use these big fluffy fan brushes, and they are very fluffy and they can hold a ton of glaze. So when I say I put 2 coats on, it's 2 coats, like it's thick. As long as the glaze itself isn't super runny. So I have a couple from Amaco. My Chun Plum and my Seaweed are very thin. I don't know if that's true for everyone's, but mine have always been very watery. So even with a big fluffy brush, it just doesn't hold a lot, which for Seaweed is fine because it tends to run. But I do tend to put on more coats of those. So I have something in here that has Chun Plum on it, and it's 4 coats of Chun Plum just because it goes on so super thin. So actually, I'll show you that one right now. So this is, I haven't done this combination before. This is Chun Plum with Seaweed over it. This is just a tumbler. So in order to get that nice solid color from the Chun Plum that I wanted, sometimes if you don't go dark and like thick enough with this, it looks brown, which can be pretty, but not what I'm going for. So like I said, this is Seaweed. This is 3 coats of Seaweed over 4 coats of Chun Plum. I would probably do 2 coats of Seaweed next time. I'm not unhappy with how this looks, but I kind of wanted a little bit more color variation on the Seaweed, kind of like you get up here. This is really cool. This is really cool. In the middle, it's pretty, but not exactly what I was going for. I got really lucky with that run there. When I applied this, it was up to here. So Seaweed moves, be careful. Inside's awesome. That came out really cool. that looks like a bare spot, but it's not. It's white clay, so you'd see it if it had crawled. That came out really cool. I like it. I hadn't done this combo before, so I'll have to try that one again. I like the way it turned out. And we have, let's see. Ooh, this one came out funny. So I've done this combo before. I'd made like some beachy pieces in my last kiln, and it's Norse blue up top, blue surf in the middle, and then winter wood with some flux. But instead of going blue on the blue surf, it totally went to the green color that it can sometimes go. That's weird. Inside is just Norse blue. So not exactly the beachy look I was going for, but I do like the green. It definitely gives it a completely different vibe. But I still like it. I think it still came out pretty. So blue surf does this. It has like this time when it goes dark green instead of blue. And for me, it's hit or miss. When I did them the last time, again, it's 2 coats of blue surf, it turned that beautiful dark blue, and it was just how I wanted it. This one definitely went a different way. Oh well, I still like it. I have another piece with the same glaze combination in here on a mug, and again, it went very green. Oh well. Somebody will think that this is just the best color combo. I just won't tell them it was supposed to look like the beach. So yeah, there was some flux applied where the Norse blue and the blue surf come together. Like I said, this is just winter wood on the bottom, which, I mean, the winter wood came out beautiful. It's nice and satiny. But yeah, not the intended color combo. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. We've got some flamingos. This is a sandbow underglaze transfer, and the glazes are honey flux and chun plum. No, I take that back. It's honey flux and raspberry mist. So honey flux is by Amaco, raspberry mist is a Mayco glaze. And that one came out cute. I needed a pink one, and I like how it turned out. Very cute. Little flamingos. And then we have, ooh, I got lucky. Look at that drip. That came right down to the bottom and did not drip off, and I love it. This is Norse blue with sandstone over the top. And I did one of these in the last kiln, and I love it. I just love how that looks together. And it got super drippy. So this was applied just in like a very mild wave pattern. And anytime you do, like if you go straight across, you have a tendency for it to run kind of together. If you give it a little bit of a bevel, it will tend to pool towards the bottom, and then you get the bigger drips. But it was not much, like it was a very, very subtle wave. So this one just took off. But I got lucky and it did not hit the kiln shelf. Yay. Let's see. Ooh, this one's pretty. This was one that I had done the last kiln too, and I wanted to do again. This is Mulberry by Amaco. And then Frosted Lemon on the inside, and this is Norse Blue over the top. I just think this is a really pretty, like, summertime, bright colors. So just a little wine cup. And I went heavy on, I think I did 4 coats with the mulberry just to really get that thick coverage. The last time I had done it, it was slightly streaky. So I'm happier this time how it came out. So yeah, and I like the Frosted Lemon with the Norse Blue. I might have to do just a cup like that. That's a really pretty bright color. Although I'm running out of summertime to do all these bright colors. I'm going to have to switch to fall colors soon. We have another wine cup. This one is Honey Flux and Chun Plum, both Amaco glazes. The Chun Plum, that's only 2 coats because I like this appearance where it's kind of almost like misty morning. If you go darker, if you do 3 coats with the Chun Plum, it just makes it brighter red. But I liked this visually, so I went with 2 coats. Yeah, that one came out cute. Then I have another tumbler in here. This one is Norse Blue with Muddy Waters. I did this one in the last kiln too, and I don't usually like muddy waters because it looks like mud. But over Norse Blue, it gets really, really pretty color variation. I just love how it looks over this. So this is just another tumbler. So like I said, all these pieces will be with me tomorrow, plus a whole bunch of pieces from my last few kiln openings. So yeah, if you guys are in southern New Hampshire, you need to stop by. It's not just pottery. So there's gonna be vendors there that are selling jewelry, paintings, sculptures, all sorts of different artists that are gonna be there. I made a couple of, well, they can be for whatever, but I was thinking of like utensils on your counter. So this is iron luster with oatmeal, which are both Amaco glazes. Iron luster actually came out really pretty. So a lot of times when I use it, it just is this brown color, but it actually picked up the way iron luster is supposed to turn out, which is this really, really pretty metallic looking kind of green, kind of a gray green. And then obviously anytime you put oatmeal over iron luster, it does really cool things. So this one's very textured. It's got a lot of ridges on it, so I figured that would highlight that glaze combination really well. You can see the oatmeal really good on the inside. So if you don't have that texture to break it up and make it go into strips like that, it will get this run pattern that looks really pretty. It's like iridescent, like blues and purples. I really like that combo. I have another utensil holder that I made. This one is textured turquoise with oatmeal, I believe, over the top. That one came out really cool too. Very pretty. I like that. I don't know that I've ever done oatmeal over textured turquoise before. That came out nice. Then I have a whole bunch of my little, here's my last Rainforest New Hampshire piece. And then I have a whole bunch of them that I used a Birches and Cardinals rolling pin. So these ones have little birch trees with little cardinals on them. I went in with black, ultra black underglaze, applied it, wiped it back so that you could get that, you know, that coloring next to the trees. And then I went over the sky and the birds with Mayco's stroking coats. So I watered down, this is actually a combination of a blue, I think it's Caribbean blue and white. I mixed it together to get like a lighter sky color. And then it's just ruby slippers on the birds. I didn't want them to be like super bright in your face. So that's why I watered it down a little bit, only applied one coat. And then I went over everything with clear. So they all are slightly different, but just a cute little thing for people when they stop by my table to be able to take something home with them and have my information because it'll have a business card with it. So, and these are cute because they can be used for Christmas ornaments. And the other ones, give me 1 second, that I have down here are from that bee rolling pin. So these have, I have 6 of these, but so these also have that teddy bear brown that was applied and waved back and then marigold over the top. And these also have, you know, just depending on where in the pattern I popped it out. Some of them just have the comb and the flowers, some have the bees. So, yeah, so those would be cute. All right, I got another couple shelves to take out, and I think I got one more piece on the bottom. Right back. And we're back. So there's one more piece that's in the bottom. Bottom of my kiln got slightly hotter than the top, but still a solid cone 6. So I'm happy with that. The piece on the bottom, I have use the succulent rolling pin again, and GR Pottery Forms. And this is a nice big plate. So this is wasabi applied all over, and then on the rim in the back I put seaweed over the top. So I really, really like that combination of the seaweed and the wasabi, and then the back is, and I found out in previous pieces that the seaweed over wasabi doesn't really move, very, very minimally. So I took it all the way to the edge. I did one coat of seaweed all the way over the top, and then like the second coat came to here, the third coat came to here, just in case. I still wanted the color, but I didn't want to, I mean, it was, as you can see, I glazed it right down. So I didn't want it to stick to my shelf, but it really doesn't move. So you can actually get a little bit further down than you might normally do putting seaweed over something. I don't know what it is about the wasabi, but the seaweed just does not really move on top of it. So this is exactly where I had applied it to. So the only movement I get is just this very little bit in the areas where it's allowed to run in the channel. So that one came out really, really cool. That's exactly how I wanted it. So that makes me happy. So like I said, if you guys are in town, that's all I have in the kiln right now. So if you guys are in town tomorrow, August 6th from 9 to 3, and you want to swing by Uncommon Art on the Common in Goffstown, I would love to meet you and say hi, show you what I got. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.